Hi everyone, it's Miss Missy here with Good Shepherd Preschool. We're so excited to see everyone start school in just a couple weeks. And we've got some important details that we need to inform you about before the first day of school so that everybody's ready to go and we're all on the same page. In normal times, we would gather in the sanctuary for a parent orientation meeting, but I'm going to offer that information to you now. I will try to be as brief yet specific as possible. I know this isn't the most exciting thing that you're going to watch all day long, but hopefully you take away some important information. So to start off with, I want to let you know how the preschool day is going to begin. You are either enrolled in a morning session or an afternoon session, or potentially you are enrolled in an all-day class, either 2 days a week or 5 days a week. The morning sessions start promptly at 9:15 a.m. and they end at 11:45. The afternoon sessions start at 1 o'clock p.m. and end at 3:30 p.m. We do have a couple of alternate classes as well. The 2-day all-day Moonbeam class starts at 9:15 a.m. and ends at 2:15 p.m. And then the 5-day Moonbeam class, the 5-day all-day, and the 5-day all-day Sunshine classes operate on their own schedule of 9:15 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. But a majority of those children are also enrolled in our extended care program, so we'll come back to those details. All of our classes are play-based, and this is important to know because how you dress your child for school is going to be significantly helpful for the success of their day. Please make sure that your child wears very comfortable clothes, things that are easy for them to get on and off on their own. They should have elastic waistband pants because these children are using the restroom on their own, most of them. The 2-year-olds do not have to be toilet trained. They can be in a diaper and the teachers will be changing their diapers, and any children that are under the age of 2 as well. But children that are 3 years or older will be using the restroom on their own. And some of you might still assist your child in the bathroom at that age. It's very understandable and it's very natural for your child to ask for help getting their pants up and down or buttoning their pants. These are things that we just can't help them with at this time because there's only one teacher amongst this group of kids. So it's often something that kind of sneaks up on parents and something that they don't really consider. So dressing your child in really easy on and off clothing is going to be very helpful. Also, we cannot assist them in wiping. So make sure that you're working with your child at this time. If they do go number 2, they need to be comfortable wiping themselves. Often in the first couple weeks of school, we send a child in the bathroom and then all of a sudden we hear a little voice come from inside the restroom that says, "Teacher, teacher." We say yes, and they say, "I'm ready to be wiped." And that's always kind of a fun moment. Of course, we're not going to just leave them sit there and to fend for themselves, but we will talk them through it, and then we'll have a conversation with the parents about that this is something that you guys are going to need to work on at home. Now, these are just things that always sneak up on parents and that they don't think about before sending their child to preschool sometimes. So I'm just trying to prepare you the best that I can. As well as easy on and off clothing, shoes are very important. These kids are running around on the playground, they're running around in the gym. A good pair of tennis shoes, preferably Velcro, are going to be the best. Right now, during this COVID time when we're trying to touch as little as possible, which is really, really difficult when you're working with young children. But Velcro shoes are going to be easier for the child to be able to get on and off on their own, and it's going to require less shoelace tying for the teachers because these children are not old enough to be able to tie their shoes yet, and that's understandable. Flip-flops, little strappy sandals, especially that the little girls wear, are cute, but they are not the most functional for a school setting. So please keep that in mind. Have your child in comfortable shoes that they're going to be able to run and play and jump in and be comfortable because they're going to be doing a lot of playing while they're here. Belts, overalls, things like that are really kind of hindering to the success of their day, because it involves a lot of maintenance to use the restroom. So things to keep in mind, those things that you would normally help your child with at home, we are going to be working with them to grow their independence and help them to grow in these self-needs and things of that nature. And the best way to do that is to keep things simple for them so that they can feel successful while they're learning all these new skills. Back to the way that the school starts. This is a little bit complicated, and it's definitely different than in the past. So we have several options for Carline times. In the past, we have had Carline drop-off at 9:15 a.m. and then an afternoon Carline drop-off for the 1 o'clock classes. With COVID and everything that is going on right now, we are not allowing parents to enter the building. So this means that your child has to be dropped off at one of our designated times that we have made available. If your child has been here throughout the summer, then you know that either myself or Miss Jenny or a couple of different staff members who have jumped in to help us here and there have been answering the door for drop-offs and bringing the child back at the end of the day. We have learned over the last 3 months that this way of doing things is just not sustainable. Me and Miss Jenny have hardly gotten any of our actual jobs done all summer because we've spent the majority of our day answering the door. And we love seeing all the kids and seeing all of you, but it just isn't realistic with the current way that we do things. And we've always tried our best to be very flexible and offer you know, the availability for you to drop off your child whenever it's convenient for you and to pick up again whenever it's convenient for you. But we just have to make some adjustments for this new time. We don't anticipate this to last forever, but we will be doing it at least through the first semester, and if we have to extend it in through the rest of the school year, then we will do this as well. Pay close attention. This is a lot, and it will go out in an email as well. So we have 6 optional times for Carline drop-off. If your child is only enrolled in a preschool class in the morning, then they will be dropped off at 9:15 a.m. and they will be picked up again at the 11:45 pickup Carline. That's easy. There's not much to that. If you have an extended care child, though, you are going to need to make some adjustments and choose either 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., 8 o'clock a.m., 8:30, or then the 9:15 Carline that would be coming for the class. Those are your times that you can drop off your child. If you do not get your child dropped off by 9:15 a.m., the next available drop-off time does not come until 1 o'clock p.m., and that's for our afternoon class sessions. For pickup times, again, if you're in a morning preschool class, your pickup time will be 11:45 a.m. If your child is in an afternoon preschool class, your pickup time will be 3:30 p.m. If your child is in extended care, then you will need to choose either the 11:45 pickup, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, or 5:30. Please make arrangements to be here for one of those times, and when we have our Meet the Teacher Day, we are going to be confirming with you which one you are going to be using so that we can have the children at the door ready to go. Everybody will receive a Carline number to pick up their child with. If you're picking your child up from just their preschool class, they will be delivered to you by their preschool teacher, so you will get that face-to-face with your child's teacher every day. For those of you that have been here for a while, that's what you're used to seeing and used to experiencing. So you'll be able to get a quick little update as to how their day was in that fashion. But even extended care children are going to have Carline numbers to be picked up with in those later afternoon hours when you're coming in and getting picked up from additional staff that is not their primary teacher. The sunshines and the rainbows. So this is the 2-year-old class is rainbows, 3-year-old class is sunshines. Will be picked up, their Carline for just the preschool classes. So this is at 11:45 a.m. and then again at 3:30 p.m. So if your child is getting picked up from a rainbow class or a sunshine class at either 11:45 a.m. or 3:30 p.m., they will be picked up under door number 1. This is a different door than what we have used in the past several years for our Carline, but we're trying to separate the children as much as possible and not have large groups of children in one space. So you're gonna pull up under door number 1, which is the regular, the main church entrance to the building. So it's opposite end from the preschool. If you have a moonbeam child, so this is a pre-K kiddo that is 4 or 5 years old, they will use Carline door number 6, which is our designated preschool door drop-off. If you would happen to miss the drop-off Carline or the pickup Carline for preschool classes, you will have to enter through door number 2 and come in and sign in and have one of us come and meet you down here to get your child. If you miss Carline pickup for extended care, you will have to wait until the next pickup time to come back and get your child. Please give us a call and let us know that you didn't make it so that we're not worried and so that we can send the child back to the classroom and wait. Or if you know you're going to be running behind and you know you're not going to make the one that you typically are here for, give us a call and we won't even bring your child down there at that time. We'll wait for the next one when we know to expect you at that time. That is a lot of reworking of things, and I understand there might be some more questions to come about all that. Like I said, we're gonna put this in an email form and have that information out there for you. Hopefully when you read it, it will make a little bit more sense. I know it's a lot to take in, so I hope that makes sense for everyone. Elementary children will also be using a Carline pickup system at the end of the day starting in September, and that will happen with a Carline number through door number 6 as well. If you have 2 children enrolled in different classes, we ask that you pick up, so say you have a rainbow and a moonbeam. We ask that you go through the Carline at door number 1 to pick up your rainbow, and then your youngest child. You're gonna pick up your youngest child first, and then you're gonna proceed down to door number 6 to pick up your older child, your moonbeam. Carlines, again, this is something else, are gonna move really, really fast. So for those of you that are used to coming in at the tail end of Carline, and a pickup time usually took maybe 10 minutes, so school gets out at 11:45, but you didn't pull into the parking lot until 11:55, and you were good because Carline was still going. That is not going to be the case with the new way that we're doing things, because there's only going to be about 12 to 20 cars at the most in any one Carline. So it's going to move much faster. You don't want to be stuck with that late pickup fee, which is a $15 late pickup fee if you miss Carline. And Carline doesn't have a designated end time. It's over when the last car drives away. And there's no more cars out there. So if your child is still sitting here and all the cars are gone, then that is considered a late pickup. So please be prompt with your arrival to be here for those pickup times. Let me make sure I'm going along everything I said I was gonna do. Oh, first day of school. This is a big one. So the first day of school, parents want to come in and visit the classroom and take pictures of their kiddos. And I understand 100% how important that is and what a special moment that is. And we want to try to do our best to recreate that some way that is safer and doesn't involve large crowds for all of you. So what we intend to do, hopefully weather will cooperate, we will be having pod areas created outside in different places around the parking lot or the perimeter of the building or the perimeter of the parking lot for you to drop your child off with their teacher and their class, so that you can at least hand your child off to their teacher on the very first day of school from you to them, and they don't have to go through a car line and have me as the middle person. So We will learn more about that at the Meet the Teacher Day. Make sure that you get signed up for that. I'm going to come back to that later. But we will not be able to have parents come into the building on the very first day of school. So we are trying to set up something that's going to accommodate that need and that desire to see your child off, but in a little bit safer way of doing things. And I just hope that everybody is as understanding as possible around all of this stuff that we have going on. So the plan is for teachers to meet their children outside, and they will all gather on a blanket or something, and then they will all proceed into the building when they're all here and they're ready. And hopefully that process will move pretty quickly. The other thing is please, when you come to drop off your child, give them a quick goodbye, have a great day, and then turn around and walk away. And that is really, really hard for some people to do, especially if your child is crying at the time when you're leaving. We are gonna have extra people out there ready to go for the emotional kiddos. This is something that we are very, very, very accustomed to and very comfortable with. Your crying child does not bother us in the least. I know it's gonna pull at your heartstrings, and we feel for them too, but we are gonna love them through these days, and they will adjust very, very quickly. And you just have to take my word for that. I promise that they do settle down and they adjust, and they find their happy place and their safe space very, very quickly, and they will have fun. If a child is just not able to relax and not able to calm down within a reasonable amount of time, we will give you a call and we'll let you know, and we'll try to make something, we'll make some sort of arrangement to have that, to help that child, because we want them to be successful, we want them to be happy, and we want them to be comfortable. But just be prepared, because tears those first 2 weeks are 100% expected, 100% natural, and it is something that all of us teachers are very experienced with, and we kind of have a little bit of a magical touch with it all. So please just know that your child is in a really, really good place, and we will love them through those moments. The best thing for you to do is to make that break quick and easy. So if you can drop them off, give them a kiss or a hug, and then turn around and walk away. The more that you linger, the longer that anxiety builds for that child, and the longer that moment is drawn out. And if you don't believe me, then you can turn around and walk away, and you can hang out close by, and I will give you an update in about 5 minutes. 9 times out of 10, as soon as you are out of sight, they calm down pretty quickly. So just be prepared for that. Mommies, daddies, prepare your heart for that, because it's hard, it's difficult, and I promise it's harder on you than it is on the child. Okay, so calendar things that are coming up. Our calendar is posted on the website. Please take a moment to look at that, save that page to your home page on your phone. It is under, if you go to the preschool website, there are several tabs at the top of the page. One of them is labeled More. The calendar is under the More tab. The first day of school is September 1st. That is a Tuesday. So if your child is in attendance on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, their first day of school will actually be September 2nd. But then that next Monday is Labor Day, and we do not have any preschool classes or extended care on September 7th, which is Labor Day. Typically, we always start our school year the Tuesday after Labor Day, and in the past, we've always been a Labor Day through Memorial Day school and center. But this year, with Labor Day being so late, we felt like you were missing out on an entire week of potential school. So we did decide to start the week before Labor Day. So that is a little bit different for those of you alumni that have been here for a while. Picture Day will be coming right away. It is October 1st and 2nd. Again, Picture Day is on the calendar, so that's something that you can mark on your phone calendar. We will also be sending out forms for you to order your pictures off of, but just so you're kind of prepared for that. Fall break is October 9th, and that is a day that we do not have any preschool classes. We will be open for our extended care children, but we will not have preschool classes on those days. Generations Day it was supposed to be in October, and that is a day that we will not be having this year, unfortunately. Some of these things are just going to have to look a little bit different, and that's one of them, especially since it happened so early in the year. Our Christmas program is kind of on hold. We're not sure what that looks like just yet. We're going to be making decisions on that as the year goes on. We will not be having special gym class or music class, at least for this first semester. Again, that could end up extending throughout the school year, but we will not be having gym class or music class until at least January at the soonest. We do have a staff member that is going to be coming into each of the classrooms and doing some stretches and some sort of yoga things and some small kinesthetic activities with the children. And of course the teachers are going to still be doing lots of music within the classrooms as well, but we will not be traveling to a separate room that will be shared with all of the children amongst the center. That just didn't seem like the smartest way of doing things. So again, gym and music class are going to be suspended temporarily. The rest of the calendar, we're just gonna kind of take it, a month at a time and see how things go and see how it all plays out. So this year's calendar is a little bit wonky because everything is kind of to be determined at this point. So the calendar is there for you to check out, but just be aware that not everything is set in stone. The last important date that I want you to pay attention to, though, is the parent-teacher conferences that come up in, and I didn't write that down on my notes, but I believe it is November that we have our first set of parent-teacher conferences, and that works just like the Meet the Teacher days do. Parent-teacher conference is a really important time, especially right now when you are not in as much communication, as much in-person communication with your child's teacher as you may have been in the past or would be in normal times. So we really hope that you can make accommodations to your work schedule or your daily schedule for those parent-teacher conference days and be available to come in and have that opportunity to speak with your child's teacher face-to-face. All right, so everybody probably got a packet of forms, or you've been directed to print off the packet of forms. There is a lot of important paperwork that we have to have on file for the students each and every year. And this is a state requirement for us because we are a registered ministry. And what that means for you, in a nutshell, without going into all the little details, is that we are inspected by the state. We are held to specific health and safety standards that we do not take lightly at all. And to uphold our end of the deal, part of that is paperwork that falls on you. It does have to be filled out annually. So if you have a child that attended here last year, you will need to complete a new packet. In addition, we have a new amended health and injury guidelines form, as well as COVID related issues and things that we need you to sign off on. Please download or print that packet of paperwork and bring it in when you come to your Meet the Teacher Day. That would be the best case scenario. We have to have that paperwork on file before your child can start the first day of school. And if you don't bring it until the first day of school, they will be starting class late, because the way that we're going to be doing things and having everybody meet out in the parking lot and stuff, neither myself or Jenny McQueen, the other director, are going to be available to take your paperwork at 9:15 a.m. as you're trying to drop your child off for the first day of school. So you will be asked to step aside and wait until we get everybody in and settled, and then we will take care of the people that need to drop off their paperwork. So please have that here before the first day of school to save everyone some time around all of that. There is amongst that the amended health and wellness policy that I was referring to. These are important things, and this goes for not just now but all times of the year. We're asking people to really pay attention to the health and wellness of their child in an effort to keep everyone here healthy and well, the other children in the classroom, the staff, the teachers, everyone that they come in contact with. So a cough, In normal times, a cough is not really a big deal. Right now, it's an extra big deal. It is one of the symptoms of COVID. If your child has a cough, we are not saying we need you to go get tested for COVID necessarily. If it is a consistent cough, they're going to need to wear a mask if they're going to attend. If the child is not old enough or not comfortable enough to wear a mask, then we're going to ask that they stay home until their cough is cleared up. And this looks different for every child because it really kind of comes down to their personal maturity. So a child that has a mild cough and has the knowledge to be able to cover their cough with their hands or cough in their arm or their elbow and then be able to go wash their hands at the sink. So this is a 4 or 5-year-old child typically. Those kids we're not so worried about because they have the skills to be able to, wash their hands and be aware of people around them. Younger children, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, they just cough and they don't, they're not old enough to understand what that does or anything. And they might just cough in their friend's face or in the teacher's face. So if they have an excessive cough and they're doing that a lot, we're going to call and ask you to come pick that child up. And it's really about the health and wellness of everybody around them. And we're not necessarily saying that your child has COVID at that time, but we're saying we need to find some cough medicine or you're going to need to keep them home for a couple days until this kind of clears up a little bit, and we'll have a personal conversation about what that looks like. Same thing with a runny nose. If the child is mature enough to be able to blow their nose and wipe their own nose, get that tissue in the trash can and wash their hands, it's not something that we're concerned about. A younger child whose nose is just running like a faucet and they don't have the maturity to be able to wipe their own nose or blow their nose, and a lot of times it ends up on their arm and their hands, and then it ends up on all of the toys and everything. Those are things that we're a little bit more concerned about. And so we are going to have a conversation about can we get some meds in this kiddo, so that some antihistamines to dry it up. If it's really green and gross, we might say, I think you maybe need to go to the doctor because this is maybe an ear infection or a sinus infection. We'll talk about what that looks like. But if that's the case for your kiddo, don't be surprised if you get a phone call and are asked to pick them up because that's something that we just really don't want in the school. Vomit, diarrhea has to be clear for 24 hours. So if your child gets sick at 9 o'clock in the morning, right before school starts, we're going to ask that you keep them home through that day, and then they can come back tomorrow. If that was the only time that they had an issue, had either vomit or diarrhea, if your child throws up at 10 a.m., we're going to ask that you don't bring them back until the following day, because you will have missed all of the opportunities to drop your child off with the new way that we're doing things. So that's another kind of kink in some people's plans sometimes. So be aware of that 24-hour notice, be aware of our new drop-off times and the availability for that. And please make sure that your child is non-medicated for the 24 hours as well before they return. And again, this is an effort to keep everyone healthy and everyone safe. So we just ask for your assistance with that. Fever, right now during COVID times, can be no higher than 100.4. That is lower than our traditional 101. So if your child's fever registers at 100.4, they will be asked to stay home. And again, that temp needs to come down non-medicated for 24 hours before they can return. If there's significant concerns, then we will ask to have a doctor's note before they return to school. This is tough for little ones who are teething. There's a lot of other things that go into child development that can raise their temp that doesn't really have anything to do with the fact that they're actually ill. But we're just not taking any risks, and we're really trying to take every precaution that we possibly can. So please be understanding of these situations and help us out with that. Pink eye, they have to have 2 rounds of drops in them before they can return to school. That's pretty basic. Lice, this is a fun one that generally shows up about once a year. Lice does not have anything to do with people being dirty. A lot of people have this preconceived notion that only dirty people attract head lice, and that's actually the opposite of the truth. Lice are actually attracted to clean heads and clean scalps. It can come from a million different places. It happens. It's something that we do not shame anybody on, but we are a nit-free center. This is different. The public schools do not have a lice policy anymore, and so it seems extreme to some people at certain times when we talk about this, but if we discover that your child does have head lice, we will call and have them sent home, and they need to be treated and processed, and then we will double check them, and all of the nits must be removed before they can return back to school. If more than one child is found with head lice in a classroom, all families in that classroom will be notified. The person who was confirmed will be kept confidential. That is not information that we give away, but just so that everybody else can know that we will definitely notify you to be on the lookout, to watch for things, and in those situations we will be checking all of the children on a daily basis until we're through that clearance time. And we also treat our classrooms very, very thoroughly if it shows up in any space as well. So again, it's not fun, but it's something that it happens, and we deal with it and we move on, and it's okay. Hand, foot, and mouth is a common thing that pops up in child care centers, daycares, preschools. We see this, especially in our younger kids. It is not a fun one because this involves usually 5 to 7 days of the child being out of school. So our hand, foot, and mouth policy is that the spots be completely healed. They can still be a little bit visible, but they can't be any form of scabbing at all before the child can return to school. So that process is usually 5 days at the least. Now, a doctor's office, a physician will tell you that they can come back to school after their fever has broke and after that period that they are no longer contagious. That is true, and I'm not going to try to argue with a doctor, but our reasoning is different. It's not that we're not only trying to contain the spread of the hand, foot, and mouth, but those spots, when they're scabby, they still itch and they can still bother them, and kids are scratching at their arms, they're scratching at their legs, and then they open those wounds, and then that becomes bacteria that's spread on other things, and so that is our reasoning behind it. I don't deny the fact that it is not contagious necessarily anymore if a child brushes up against another child or something like that, but there's other reasons why we are asking them to stay home. So please be respectful of that. All of this is laid out in the handbook under our amended illness and injury guidelines. Please look at that. Please read the entire handbook because I can't go over it in its entirety today, but there's lots more important stuff in there. Supply list. So I sent an email about this last week. We have been so crazy this summer that we did not get a chance to update this information in the handbook. But if you have not purchased the supplies yet, you do not need to. We will apply a $25 fee to your account. It actually is helpful to us because then we can order things as needed and we don't have a whole lot of storage to keep everything in. So that's helpful. However, I know that a lot of you have already bought the supplies, and if that's the case, that's okay. We'll certainly use them. Make sure that you have a face-to-face conversation with us at the Meet the Teacher Day so that we can remove that fee from your account. Some of you have emailed me, but please still confirm with me face-to-face. I'd appreciate that just so that, because those fees have not been applied yet, so it won't happen until later next week. And I may have forgotten about the ones that have emailed me at that point because it's just kind of crazy. So please follow up with me and we'll remove it if it was put on there incorrectly. Your child will be asked to be the snack leader for their classroom a couple times a month. It could be as often as 3 times a month or as often as once a month. It depends on which classroom they're in, how often that class meets, and the number of kids that are in their classroom. But the snack leader is responsible for bringing in the snack for their class that day, and it's a very important role. The kids love being snack leader. They're usually the person that holds the flag for circle time, for the Pledge of Allegiance, the line leader, the calendar counter. There's many significant responsibilities that come with being snack leader. You will get a calendar from your child's teacher on the first day or on your Meet the Teacher Day, and then they will come home the end of the previous month every month, and your child's name will be assigned to a specific day. There is also suggested snacks that are listed on the calendar, and that again is a state requirement to post a menu of what we will be serving the children. If there are any allergies that are significant within the classroom, we will put that on the snack list as well. You can substitute and send in something that's different from the recommended suggested snack, but we ask that it be a healthy alternative, and we have to adhere to a 2 food group menu items. So it has to be 2 items of differing food groups. And we really try to avoid things like lots of juice. I will try to put juice on only once every 2 weeks. Fruit snacks, because they're just terrible for children's teeth, so you will not ever see me put fruit snacks on the snack calendar. And obviously candy and sugary things like that are not things you're gonna find on the snack calendar as well. Birthday treats, your child is welcome to bring in, cookies or cupcakes or something of that nature. If they're gonna be cupcakes, the little tiny ones are just fine. They don't need to be the full-size cupcakes. Again, the less sugar, the better. So even if you can do some sort of different birthday treat, be creative, whatever that looks like for you, I don't know. But that's always helpful for us as well. There was something else I was just gonna say. I forgot what it was. Maybe I'll come back to it. That's all right. Okay, so that's snack later. Snack happens in the morning at about 9:30, and for the afternoon classes, it happens closer to the end of the day, around 2:30 to 3:30 time. So it kind of varies amongst the different classes. But the idea is that we don't want them to eat too close to lunch at any point, so we're trying to spread that out. Billing. So your monthly preschool tuition is going to be billed on the 1st of every month. That tuition will be paid for the month that follows it. So your first tuition payment will be posted on September 1st, and you can pay that anytime during that first week of school. It will be considered late after day 14. So on the 14th of the month, that is when that first tuition payment will be considered late. If you would like to prepay, you can do that at the Meet the Teacher Day. You can pay for the month. We can also set you up with an automated billing service. We can get you the contact information for how you can go online and pay on your own. I can give it to you right now. You go to MyProCare, that's MyProcare.com. You'll be able to put in your email address, and it's linked to your child's account, and you can make your payments there anytime on your own. You can call us and stop in the office. You will have to enter through door number 2 and sign in and check in as a visitor and everything, and come and make a payment with cash in the office if that's your preferred method of payment. We also can take credit cards in the office as well. So really, whatever works best for you, we can accommodate. Obviously, at this time, the easiest and the preferred method would be for you to pay online on your own, or set up that automated billing or an ACH transfer of funds, so that we can eliminate that contact as much as possible. There is a discount that is offered if you prepay for the entire year by the 31st of this month. So you've got a couple weeks still to get that in. If you pay by cash or check, it's a 10% discount. If you pay by credit card, it is a 7% discount. And you can give us a call and we can give you that specific number if that's something that you're interested in doing. And again, you can also take care of that when you're here for your Meet the Teacher Day next week. If your child is late for pickup, so this kind of goes back to the Carline issue, or the Carline situation. If you miss your preschool pickup Carline, so this is 11:45 or 3:30, there is a $15 late pickup fee that will be posted to your account. You will need to come in through door number 2 to pick up your child and sign in and do all of that. If you are late picking up your child from extended care, which means that you're late after 5:30 in the evening, it is $5 per minute for every minute that you are late picking up your child. That is a hefty fee, but it's important because all of our staff have other things that they need to get home to do and to get to. And it's just important to be respectful of that for them. If something happens and you're running late and you end up in a situation, hopefully it's not like some sort of crisis, but things happen, life happens. Give us a call, let us know what's going on. We are happy to make accommodations and help you out. And everybody gets one free pass. But if it becomes a chronic thing, then then we're gonna have to have a conversation about what this looks like. But if you get stuck, on the other side of a funeral procession and you didn't make it, give me a call while you're sitting there and say, hey, Missy, I'm sitting here on Coliseum Boulevard and I can't cross. This really long funeral is going. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it on time. I'm gonna say, all right, we'll keep an eye out for you. Just get here as soon as you can. Or, if your car broke down and you got a flat tire or something, give us a call. We are very reasonable people still. Okay. Give me just a second here. I think that we are just about done. So Meet the Teacher days are next week, the 27th and 28th. You should have gotten an email with a Sign Up Genius link. If you did not get that email or you still need to sign up for that time, please give us a call and we can get you signed up for a time to come and meet your teacher. Please make sure that you are wearing a mask. You can bring your child with you. This is an opportunity for them to meet their teacher and for them to see the classroom. Everybody has been allotted a 15-minute time slot. We ask that you be very respectful of that time slot and make sure that we're in and out and cleared because we have to, clean the tables and things like that before the next family comes in the building. This is going to be your one opportunity to be in the classroom before the first day of school, since we are doing this new way of drop-off for that first day of school. I think it's all going to go really, really well. So just be prepared for that. But we need everybody to be here for Meet the Teacher Day. It's going to be very, very important. The last thing I wanted to let you know about is our Preschool Committee. This is a wonderful, wonderful group of people that meet once a month, and it is comprised of church members, school families, non-church members. We try to have a variety of people. We are looking for some new members to join the Preschool Committee. The commitment is only about 1 or 2 hours a month. We meet once a month, and sometimes the meetings go quicker than others, but they're in the past have been on Tuesday evenings. And so if that's something that you would be interested in joining and giving back to, we would love your feedback, and we always look forward to that. Just in general, I think you have made a fantastic choice in choosing Good Shepherd as your choice for your child's preschool. The staff here could not be any more amazing, and I mean that with every piece of my heart. These teachers are amazing, and they are here because they love working with kids and they're excited to see your kids each and every day. Please, please do not be afraid to communicate with us. We will be using an app system to communicate with you, and you'll be getting lots of pictures sent home and lots of daily notes. Your teachers will tell you more information about that at the Meet the Teacher Day as well. But just because you can't enter the building as much as possible, we are still doing everything that we can to try to get information to you and communicate and still have you be a part of that daily part of your child's life. This is hugely important for you, and we are so grateful that you have chose us to and that you trust us enough with your absolute most valuable possession, your children, and we do not take that lightly in any way. I can't wait to see them all here in a couple weeks. It's going to be a different year, but it's going to be a great year nonetheless, and we are going to do everything in our power to make it the absolute best we possibly can. Please let me know if you have any questions. You can email me, you can call. Miss Jenny is also available to help you, and we look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Thank you so much. Take care.